Yeah, they're right. And occasionally they are. I remember both times this season that you've been right. So, all right, now here's one real quick. Look at this play as at Clemson last year. Ball carrier comes out, goes down, ball's loose, the other team picks it up, goes in for a score. Is it a touchdown? No. Is it a fumble? No, it's not. And why not? Now, on the field, they may miss it. Talk real quick about replay. Replay stops the game very, very minimal amount of time. This year so far, in 7 weeks, we've stopped the game 85 times. We've corrected 18 plays. We've reversed 18 plays to fix it. The average stoppage time is 1:06, so it doesn't take long. We don't stop the game much. Our shortest TV timeout is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so it gives you a little sense of the time frame. Of all the plays in all of college football at the Division I or FBS level last year and each year of the past 6 years, 75% of all the stoppages are 3 plays. That first one you saw, catch, no catch. The second one you see up here, fumble, no fumble. And the third one is scoring plays. Does he break the plane of the goal line? Does the ball touch the pylon? That type thing. So on this first chance right here, you say, we're going to say that it was not a catch, huh? I mean, it was not a fumble, and you're right. Now take a look here. Here's another view of it. Comes down, hits the ground, ball's loose, the other team picks it up. But here's where you make the difference. When you come back to this shot right here, does the elbow hit before the ball comes loose? And it does. Once the elbow touches the ground, the play's over. But that's how finite of a difference it makes to get these right. And that's the beauty of replay. It allows us to come in and fix things that are done. A couple things to know about replay too. Number one is, the number one premise of replay in college football is to assume it's correct on the field. And then secondly, before you change it, you have to have indisputable video evidence. And that doesn't mean it looks like, I think it is, it looks like a fumble, I think none of that counts. Indisputable. Indisputable. And the standard I like to use is 12 drunks in a bar. All right? And they all go, that guy was down. That's indisputable. Okay? And so the idea is indisputable means that. That doesn't mean if you and I are looking at it and you say, well, I'm not sure. I can't see the whole ball. I can't see the whole hand. I can't see. That means it stands on the field. You assume it's correct on the field, and it must stand unless you have this indisputable video evidence. Very high standard. And the other component of replay is you have to assume it has competitive impact. Game is 42-3. There's 7 minutes left in the game, and the officials missed the spot by 7 yards. We're not going to stop the game. The purpose of replay was never to get a perfectly officiated game. It's to correct and reverse those egregious errors that happen that can be fixed because of what the technology gives us to do. And that's what it's about. So competitive impact, assume correct on the field, only if there's indisputable video evidence can you change it. Chop block, one of the other player safety issues that take place here. This thing is a little delayed on here for some reason. Let's go back. There we go. All right, you see the chop block that occurred? All right, now I'll show you how tough the chop block is. I want you to look over here in this right there. See that low block? Low block accompanied by a high block. That's a chop block. See the high engagement here, then the low block, that's a chop block. That's how quick it happens. One of the toughest plays to get. I talked earlier about initiating contact with the crown of the helmet. Take a look at this one. See the lower's head? That's initiating contact with the crown of the helmet. That's a foul. The conference is required on Monday to review these, and we can take extra action against the player. Give them an extra full game, half game suspension, letter of reprimand, or whatever else to include. We've had a couple that have occurred around the country where it's been a 2-game suspension because it's that violent of a hit. So that's the play we're trying to get out of college football. Let me scoot ahead here. I'll show you. This is just the review of that chop block. I want to show you a couple more of these, then we'll take a few questions. Take a look at this one right here. See the contact? That's a defenseless player. He's a receiver, focusing on the ball, has not become a runner yet. When he turns around, now look, it lowers the head into the helmet. You get him above the shoulders. Doesn't matter if you get him with a crown or not. That's a foul. Here's another look at it. Get him right in the head. Defenseless player, that's the play we want to take out of football. Get your head up and you have a good old defensive position. Take a look at this one. This is downfield against State. Take a look at this. It happens down here in this corner. Take a look at the hit in this one. Launches, leaves his feet, knocks the player out, concussion. You know, And so that, not only was this a foul in the game, the player was suspended for 2 successive games as a result of it. That's the play you want taken out of the game, what we don't want to see anymore. Watch the hit on the quarterback on this one. This is plain old late hit. Just watch the quarterback. Georgia Tech quarterback down the line in their option offense pitches, and now see that high hit afterward? That's where the referee's got to stay with the that's a clear foul right there. He's pitched, and you get him above the quarterback, having thrown or just thrown the ball. Cannot hit him above the shoulders. He's a defenseless player. That's a foul. Get another view of it from the end zone shot right here. Did it hit there?
Flag.
Oh, yeah. Now, we can also eject the player from the game for that, and the conference can take additional view. Here's the NC State game. Remember the one I just showed you? This is the next play. Look at it down there in this lower right corner again. Another play in that one. So that's where the player got 2 weeks off as a result. Launching, leaves his feet. It's a defenseless player leaping to get the ball. When you launch and leave your feet, target them above the shoulders, leading with the helmet, whatever language you want to use, that's the play that we're trying to get out of there. Face mask real quick. Sometimes they happen so quick, hard to see, but we have 2 flags on it. You come back here and replay and see there's no longer, see the face mask get grabbed right in there? There's no longer a 5-yard face mask. Horse collar, this is a change in the rule. Take a look, in this case, ball carrier, he turns up right there. You'll see it in the second view a little bit. This is the horse collar tackle. You reach and you grab the player inside from the sides through the back of his jersey or his shoulder pads and immediately pull him to the ground. That's a horse collar tackle. DPI, we can talk about this all day. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Just because of the time, I wanted to be able to take a few, we can look at video all day. Harold knows we'll sit here and watch this all day long. But let me take a couple of quick questions, if I could, from you, just about anything, about rule. And then I've got one quiz question I'm going to give you, and we'll see how good you are. Yes, sir.
Have you considered giving Ron Cherry a brain transplant?
No, because he is, frankly, one of the top-rated officials in America. And he consistently, our coaches, I don't have any coaches who say they don't want to see Ron Cherry. Matter of fact, coaches sometimes will say, why do our fans boo? I said, because they're fans. They care about the outcome of the game. We don't care about the outcome of the game. Ron's one of the top, worked the national championship a couple years ago in 2009 and remains one of the top-rated referees in the country. Any other, please, any question on rules, mechanics, officiating? Yes, sir.
Your interpretation of hitting above the shoulder of the defenseless player, is that pretty much nationwide? Is that?
Oh, totally. In college football, in NCAA, that's true.
So it doesn't matter whether the guy comes in and glances the helmet, anything above the shoulder is illegal.
Yeah, if he's one of those 6 players, he's got to be one of those 6 players. Just because helmet's hit, that's not a foul. But if you target one of those 6 designated players and you hit them above the shoulders with anything, hand, elbow, shoulder, helmet.
But all that's required is a penalty. Not necessarily
The first requirement is it's a foul. That's a 15-yard penalty for the personal foul. The second part of it is if it is flagrant, that's the language of the rule, flagrant fouls for targeting and initiating contact can also result in disqualification. And in all cases, all of those fouls are to be reviewed by the conference office on Monday morning to determine if additional penalty is required.
flagrant. What defines flagrant?
Well, I'll give you an example. Last year we probably had 65 targeting or initiating contact in the whole league, for the whole year, and we had 2 that were flagrant. We took extra action. One was the Georgia Tech player, which had happened in the second half. We ejected him at the game, but the conference also gave him a half-game suspension the next week.
Leaving the ground does not.
Launching it in almost all cases, no, that doesn't have to be flagrant for that, but flagrant is, I look at it as being that felony misdemeanor kind of thing. I mean, flagrant, I have no problem when I look at it saying, hey, this one's close, and then when we go evaluate it. I don't want officials ejecting players unless it's so blatantly flagrant. I'd rather us do it on Monday because I got 8 views. We got a minimum of 8 cameras at every game. and then ABC or ESPN, we have 14 cameras at those. So we got every view imaginable, and I think we make a better decision if we're going to take additional action on it. Yes, sir.
Horse collar, do you have to pull him down?
It has to be immediate. You have to pull him immediately. If he drags you along for 3 or 4 yards and then you pull him down, it's not a foul. Inside back of the shoulder pad, inside back of the jersey, and immediately pull him to the ground.
If Ron Cherry is one of the highest rated officials, why do you think that the fans of football teams prefer him not to call their game?
I'll be honest with you, that if I listen to what fans and TV announcers said, we never get a game played. We never get it. What matters to me is what the coaches send in their clips, they send to me, and every week I get 6, 8, 10 plays from every coaching staff. And I can tell you right now, the plays I get from the coaches are in 3 groups. Coach, we agree. We missed that. That should have been called. Coach, we disagree. That doesn't meet the philosophy. And the middle group is called judgment. And that's what the game is all about. There's enough mistakes to go around. Coaches make them. On 3rd and 1, who called that sweep and lost 3 yards? My goodness, what are we doing? By the same token, none of these players are coached to throw interceptions, miss blocks, to clip, to hold, to do it. Mistakes happen, and officials are no different. Everybody gets their share of mistakes in it. Our goal is to identify them, learn from them, don't repeat them, and get better at it. So I don't think officials make any more mistakes than coaches or players. We're just part of the deal. And, there's no other way to explain it, because the consistency that we're after comes from learning from your mistakes. Holding. You can call holding on every play. It'd be a 6, 7, 8.5 hour game. Every time the player's hands are outside the frame of his body, we can call out on every play. What we're after, we want to call holding when it's at the point of attack, right where the play is designed to go. It's significant restriction. You really stretch the jersey, you really pull him to the ground, it's a takedown. That backside holding over here, we're not going to call it, because it doesn't have an impact on the play. And that's kind of the philosophy of it, to call the ones that matter, to get the ones that give one team or the other an advantage or disadvantage. So, all right, any more requests? I'll give you one quiz here. All right, coaches don't count on this, right? Well, maybe they don't. Okay. All right. College football game. The game's just about over. It's 4th and 1. You're at the 5-yard line going in. 4th, and if you get to the 4, you get a first down, okay? It's 4th down and 1 to go. Quarterback steps out, comes down the line, he's keeping the ball, and he turns upfield. When he gets to the 5, he gets hit and fumbles the ball forward into the end zone. Okay, so it was 4th and 1 at the 5. So when he gets to the 4, but he only gets to the 5, fumbles the ball goes into the end zone. His teammate, number 67, falls onto the end zone. What do we got? How many say touchdown? Put your hand up. That's it. Okay, you're all wrong. Okay, there's no way it's a touchdown. All right. Now, the reason being, on 4th down, only the guy that fumbled it can recover it. All right. So now the ball's loose in the end zone, and his teammate 67 falls on it. What's the signal? No, it's not a touchback either. See, I thought you guys knew. All right, you just signal timeout and you go back to the spot where it's fumbled. And if it's short of the line to gain, you give the ball to the other team, going the other way. Okay, they didn't make the 4th down, they fumbled. Now, if it's fallen by number 14, the quarterback in the end zone, what have you got? Touchdown, because the 4th down fumbler can get it. And if it's the defender falls on it, what do you got? Touchback, and you come out to the 20. So, good job. Thank you very much. Enjoyed being with you.